All eyes on the Premier League on the channel now. It's round 10 this week, so here are my predictions. I'll be attempting to predict the outcome of each of this week's 10 Premier League games. I'd love to hear from you lot in the comments with your own predictions. As ever, stay tuned all the way to see how I did with my last set of predictions. Arsenal versus Liverpool. Right then, nice easy one for us to start with. Where we'd all probably agree is that Arsenal have trended up and Liverpool have trended down somewhat from their admittedly absurdly high standards. In recent times, Liverpool have dominated this fixture and are rarely back against them. But Arsenal, 7 wins in 8, while Liverpool have only wins at home to Bournemouth and Newcastle in stoppage time. I think I've convinced myself. Home! Manchester City versus Southampton. Maybe a little bit more certainty around this one. A quick little Google told me Southampton are 18-1 to win up at the Etihad. I'm assuming that unless something extraordinary happens, this should be a fairly routine one for Manchester City and their superstar goalscorer. Not only can you make very straightforward arguments for Man City being very good, but Saints have lost 4 in their last 5, including 3 in a row to bottom half sides. Home! Brighton versus Spurs. Well, any idea that Brighton would immediately fall off after the departure of Graham Potter were debunked in the short term by that 3-3 draw up at Anfield in Roberto De Zerbi's first game. I should be more confident about Brighton and less about Spurs, especially after their defeat in the North London derby. But surely we'll get a Conte bounce back here. The Seagulls are still unbeaten at home, though. Perhaps I need to call this one down the middle. Draw! Chelsea versus Wolves. Compared with the Championship, very few Premier League clubs have given their manager the heave-ho. We do, however, have 2 of those clubs meeting at Stamford Bridge this round. Chelsea replaced Tuchel with Potter, and Wolves sacked Bruno Lage after losing to West Ham last time out. The fact that there will either be a new face going into a new job and immediately having to travel to Chelsea, or no new manager whatever, suggests this is another home. Everton versus Manchester United. Everton are in their best moment of the season off the back of back-to-back wins, while Manchester United have just been completely beaten up by Manchester City last week. Everton's good form should not be underestimated. They are 7 undefeated in all competitions. The best defensive record in the league. Where did that come from? All that being said, though, I think we're going to get one of those games where star power perhaps outdoes form. Away! We are halfway there, and I know you want me to hurry up and get to all the dearly departed teams. I get it. I will. I promise. Just do me a favour. Hit the like button first. Newcastle versus Brentford. Newcastle confused me. I was expecting them to really step up a level this season. My eyes say it doesn't feel like they have yet, but they've only lost once and they've snuck all the way up to 7th last weekend. Go figure. Love Brentford, particularly their goal threat, but it's no away wins yet this season for the Bees. And I just have a feeling that Newcastle might be able to control the flow of this one. Home! West Ham versus Fulham. I do worry a little bit about Fulham playing right into West Ham's hands here. Fulham like to be on the front foot, up the pitch, high tempo, which is exactly what David Moyes' Hammers are set up to counter. If both teams play to their favoured system pretty well, I've got West Ham as the winners, but they've been a little bit uninspiring this season, and Fulham haven't, so draw! Crystal Palace versus Leeds. Tough one to call this, isn't it? Palace look a little underwhelming, but dig a little deeper. They've had some hard old fixtures to start the season. Leeds, of course, went off very brightly, but could be a little bit hurt by not having played for a month, and that 0-0 against Villa wasn't great, was it? I tend to like Palace at home, so maybe they are slight favourites. I don't know. Let's go for an unhelpful draw. Bournemouth versus Leicester. Now, Bournemouth have pieced together a really nice 4-match undefeated streak and stuck another 6 points on the board. Gary O'Neill is still in charge, but those Chris Wilder rumours won't go away, and he's properly available now after his sacking up at Borough. I was at Leicester on Monday. Vardy was back. Maddison was on song. Easy win over Forest. Bournemouth are doing just fine, but I've got a hunch for a Leicester winning streak now. Away! Nottingham Forest versus Aston Villa. Sorry, Forest fans, but I'm going to make this all about your boys. Monday night was a mess. I was there. It wasn't pretty. And then the rumours about the ownership questioning everyone from Steve Cooper downwards really does not bode well. Don't like it. Cooper needs to try and pull everything together on the pitch, else the chaos could envelop everything really fast. Villa are stubborn but effective, and at the moment, sadly, effective beats Nottingham Forest. Away! There is my set of predictions. Disappointed with last week's score of 4. Must do better and at least hit that 5 out of 10 halfway acceptability standard. Any teams in the 2 fingers up to me club this week? That's those I predicted to lose who ended up winning. Only one. Silly me predicting a Fulham win as Newcastle cruised in 4-1. There was a red card after 8 minutes in my defence. Don't forget to join us on all the other million social media platforms. TikTok, Insta, Facebook, most importantly, Patreon, where you can help me feed my 1-year-old daughter. If you're sitting comfortably, then stay right where you are. It was Premier League action for me this past Monday, as mentioned. So click here to see what I made of that East Midlands derby between Leicester and Nottingham Forest.